stuff is thank you. The majority of our stuff is construction work. As I told you, and the guys know that the scene behind me is a project that I do every week. Um, Richard in Arizona, he takes us through his daily activities, doing his flight planning and his on-site stuff and his website stuff. And he's got numerous um, teachables and stuff out there, all kinds of modules. He just came out with a new one for the Patreon channel we've been reviewing. I personally haven't yet, but he posts stuff on there for us to review and critique, and then he tweaks it and that kind of stuff. Predominantly works with a real estate broker agent out in the Prescott area, and he's done a lot of work with them, and he knows his stuff. So we all just try to get together. This is informal, and we try to learn from each other, help each other, and assist in any way that we can. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Now back to regularly scheduled program.
Appreciate the filling in, and I am recording this, so I hope if that's all right with everyone. But let's see, we've got Tim joining us. Welcome, Tim. So given what I did know about the group coming in, I did put together a little presentation today. I tried to put together some actionable things that will hopefully be helpful for you in your own businesses. But I'd like to hear a little bit about your businesses first, and maybe where you are struggling or having success, and just make sure I'm meeting you where you are today. Corey, I think I've got a pretty good handle on your business.
I hope so.
Would anyone else mind sharing? Maybe Mark, looks like you're unmuted.
Oh, I guess I should mute myself. Yes. Well, actually, I'm drone right now. I'm sorry about the light. Drone right now is my basic part-time job. I do work full-time still for the airline. So I'm doing that currently. But when it comes to drones, I am getting more into the mapping aspect of things. I do some of the real estate as well, as my wife does real estate photography. So that's why I actually jumped into this, because of her. So I started doing drone operations, mainly for her, and then found Rich and the team here, and, really understanding how real estate agents don't like to pay money. They like to do things on their own. But yeah, so that's why the aspect of, the website really interests me. I did talk to Corey about it, and, looking at my website, I know I have a lot of work to do. But there's a lot of things that could help on my end, with your services.
Got it. And how long have you been established?
I think about four years doing drone work, 4 or 5 years now.
Nice. That's awesome. Would anyone else like to share anything that they're groups?
I don't operate a drone business, but one day I would like to.
Okay.
I found my drone mainly for the fun of it, and I enjoy the technology, and I enjoy our Patreon Zoom group meeting each week. I'm into not just flying a drone, but 360-degree photography too. But again, right now as a hobby, but one day, hopefully, as a part-time business.
Interesting. Yeah, and where are you located?
I'm located in Florida, near Tampa.
Okay. So I've got some beautiful scenery out there. Anyone else like to share anything before we jump in? Yes.
Sure. So far, I'm just a hobbyist. I'd like to get a business going. I actually have tried to. I have a website, business license for sole proprietor, and no customers. And it would be part-time. I'm retired and like to travel, so that slows it down a little bit. But basically, right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get some customers to get started.
All right. And what type of customer are you looking for?
A drone construction progression, or excuse me, construction progression with drones.
So sticking in that niche as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for that and ran across Rich, and it was just like, what he teaches is exactly what I'd like to be doing.
Got it. Well, thank you for sharing. All right, well, yeah, let me share a little bit. Corey, you did an awesome job introducing me. Thank you. My background is I did have my real estate license for about 10 years. As you might be aware, there's a lot of money on the table with real estate. And so marketing was something that was really important to learn. I got tired of paying other people to do it. And so just dove in and learned it myself. And sometime during COVID, I got interested in drones and started my own drone services business. That was kind of a fun time of, first person views going through the houses when people couldn't actually go on site. And I saw that a lot of the principles that I knew that allowed me to get traction in the market weren't necessarily instinctual to other drone pilots. I could see other drone pilots who had a lot more skills and experience and, that knew the ins and outs of all the editing and weren't able to book jobs as I was. And that's where I started a Facebook group and started trying to share this knowledge. And that's where we are today. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
Just so you know, guys, Sarah is a mom, so there may be a rugrat running through the scene.
They're banished downstairs, but thank you. They might.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are you able to see this sheet document?
Just expand it a little for us older people.
Okay. There's 150%. That better? Should we go 200?
What do you think, Bruce?
We'll go 200 for Bruce.
It looks good to me.
Okay. All right. So a big part of what I advocate for or, find a lot of value in is helping people to be found, small businesses to be found by those who are actively looking for the services, right? That's where you're serving somebody who already has a need instead of kind of going out and trying to get them to say yes to you, you're saying yes to them. That's what we'll focus on today. Obviously, prospecting has a big part in growing your business and pipeline. But I just wanted to start here. It's really the foundations of business and planting seeds that are going to pay off in the long term. So, for example, who here, if you are, say, if your toilet is clogged, what are you going to do? I'll answer. We know the answer. You're going to go Google it, right? You're going to Google plumber near me, and whoever looks best in that listings, you're going to call. So let's actually try that. Plumber near me.
Good luck out there in Montana.
We got some plumbers. Still got people needing indoor plumbing. All right. So here's what it would show up. And well, you may or may not be familiar with this term of the Google 3-pack, but this is the Google 3-pack. And these are the top 3 listings that show up when you search for a term. And this is based on the businesses that show up are based on how active they are online, how well they're established with their SEO, their reviews, social media. Google is actually able to go behind the scenes and look across all these social platforms, all the online listings, the history of the site, because Google's goal is to serve the searcher. And so what they want to do is whatever that searcher is looking for, they want to hand them the best options right on a silver platter. They don't want to be giving information on a business that's out of business or that's got the really terrible reviews or that's not going to have relevant services for what they're looking for. So just to kind of give you a little idea of how that algorithm works. 80% of phone calls go to these top 3 listings. So if anything that you can be doing to get your business more primed to show up on these top 3 listings is going to get you more phone calls. And as you know, if you're looking for a plumber, you're going to be looking at their time in business, their ratings, do they have a website? And depending on the industry or business type, sometimes 2 out of the 3 won't even have a website. And that can be pretty easy to compete. And that's really where drone services are right now. So drone, let's see, aerial photography near me. And there is not a ton here. Right? So this this is where for drones and drone businesses, we're kind of in the gold rush stage, the early stage of being able to stake your claim online, because drone businesses are a newer thing. And a lot of drone pilots are not taking these basic steps to be found online or to have that optimized web presence. So Alex is doing pretty good. It looks like he's more of a photographer. We got drones, and then this person doesn't even have a website. So
Where are you?
I'm not established here yet. I've
Okay.
only been here since December. I've had a few things going on here. Like helping you, Corey, right?
Thank you.
Yes. So anyway, I just want to give you an idea of how important that is. Because if you want 80% of the phone calls, you got to be in this Google 3-pack.
Question.
Now, who here knows where they currently knows if they're competitive or not in their Google 3-pack?
Negative.
And so that might be something worth looking into. The best way to do that is from an incognito browser, just so you know, because your computer is going to have cookies and kind of know what you're searching for. So if you're looking for yourself, you're going to find yourself. So just be aware of that.
What do you mean by that, incognito?
So if you go, like if you're on Chrome and you go up to the 3 dots, you can go new on. So this is where it's not going to be tracking where you've visited. So it'll give an object
Okay.
finding.
Incognito. Uh-oh. Is that the black web?
Yes, that's also part of this training is no. Nothing's
Don't get caught there. Yeah.
right. No, I don't
Don't
know.
get in trouble.
We're steer clear of that. So the challenge is really standing out from your competitors. And what do you do to stand out? Does anyone here are you open to sharing what you do to position yourself differently, to stand out, to really establish yourself as the local authority in your niche? Or is it Rick, the leader?
Richard.
Richard, has he shared anything about that? Or it sounds like he's already pretty well established. So word of mouth for him.
He said he gets most of his business through his website.
Okay. So positioning on website.
So Sarah, one of my issues is that I don't have a lot of outside clients besides, all my real estate agents that I deal with
Mhm.
come through my wife.
Okay.
So I work with her, but then also I have one or two other companies that are based out of California that I subcontract with. So I don't get a lot of Google reviews, if you will,
Mhm.
in that aspect of things. I get some work, but I'm not getting enough of the Google reviews to capitalize on that portion.
Okay. And have you asked for Google reviews, or do you think they wouldn't do it? Or tell me more about that.
I have asked some of the agents, and a few of them have. I have not asked my basically, the ones that I'm subcontracting for. I haven't asked them, and I should.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll touch back on this later. So thanks for mentioning that. Because it can feel kind of awkward, right, to ask for reviews, whether or not you know people. And there is a way that we can put this as part of our follow-up or delivery process, which makes that a lot more comfortable, as well as you're not going to be forgetting to ask for that. I'm a big believer in what gets measured gets managed. So that's where part of, what Corey was talking about is doing that website audit so we can see where things are to begin with. So I did pull up an audit I've done for another site just to show you what that looks like. And the information we're gathering from this is partially like, how are you appearing to Google? Because we know that we want to appear strong to Google. But also usability is important, right? How are people experiencing your website? Are you showing up on the social? Are you adding things regularly? Do you have just the foundations done properly so that you're going to be gaining traction over time? Just for fun, I also showed what a keyword sheet looks like. So we did that for this person, giving them some suggestions to integrate into their site or into their blog posts so
You
that
blow that up. We can't see it.
I don't know that I can. Let's try it.
Okay.
I can share all this afterwards or create. Oh, here we are.
That's a little better.
So if somebody was looking for aerial mapping, you know, they might even be spelling it incorrectly. So just some things to be thermal mapping. This was just based on what this person wanted to, who they wanted to target, and giving them some ideas again to put into the site. Now, we talked about the Google 3-pack. So the how of getting to that Google 3-pack, if we're again talking about attraction marketing in this right now, would be the SEO, Google My Business optimization. And this is another topic. Who here has claimed their Google My Business profile? Gary, all right, looking good. Bruce, you will when you're ready, huh? You get rolling. All right, so that's super important. And making sure that you've got all of the services that you offer in there as well. Let's see. There we are. So, you know, we know that a lot of other businesses have not claimed their Google My Business listing, but I just throw a little bit of information here. The name, address, phone number are important, and it's really important to have this consistent across all of your platforms. So if you've listed your phone number on Facebook and Instagram and other LinkedIn, you want to make sure it's all put in the same format. Making sure you're adding your service areas. I'm sure you've all done that. Making
Now,
sure.
Sarah.
Yeah.
So are we at a disadvantage being a service business without having a brick and mortar for the searches?
Not necessarily. It can make it a little challenging when you're first claiming the business because Google does really want to have brick and mortar businesses, but you can make up for that because there are plenty of services that come to you that are travel that don't have a brick and mortar. But putting in your service areas then is really important. And there are some other workarounds. Like you could go to a site called Anytime Mailboxes, which is a virtual mailbox, and
Yeah.
which is my understanding is it does allow you to use a physical address. But that's actually something I'm just looking at myself learning about this week. Because of
Doesn't Google know about those places though?
from
Like co-working spaces or up spaces that can rent you a mailbox?
maybe we could ask Google, huh? I'm not sure on that, but that's where my understanding was this Anytime Mailboxes does allow a workaround on that. But I can follow up with you because I literally just listened to a training on that to get around this issue, to get around that challenge. And services, you know, I'll just run through this. Adding photos is really important. You want to have a quality representation of your business and your services on your site. And adding regularly is also important because, again, you want to be looking like you're active. You want to be a relevant business. And your posts can actually now appear in the map listings. So, for example, if somebody was searching near me, they can see what you've been posting lately. So, again, just another way to stand out from the competition, which we were talking
Hand
about.
raised.
Oh, yes, Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to jump in there. Let me ask you a question. So with your drone business that you have, right, that where you just relocated, would you add your home address to that Google, or would you recommend not to?
I personally would not. I don't want my home address listed, and I didn't when I've had it in Washington.
Okay.
I would do the service areas, and I'd look into the Anytime Mailboxes or a workaround. Some businesses even go so far as renting a tiny space, like Corey was mentioning. But I want to put that on the back burner because that's something, again, I'm trying to learn about some workarounds, and I don't want to give wrong advice. So
Dash hand.
I think Dash is up.
Dash, yes.
How often would you be updating your GMB?
I think every 2 to 4 weeks is reasonable. It doesn't need to be a ton, but just, you know, you could do a seasonal promotion or highlight a recent job, show off some recent photos. Just something where it's a regular, it's just not static for a year plus. That answer.
Ready. Thank you.
So the benefits of those Google posts are you get free views. Again, you can have people claim promotions or whatnot. You've got that call now option, which is also really valuable. We're trying to reduce the friction of people being able to reach you, right? So call now can be a great thing to turn on in your post video.
Make sure your numbers are updated.
Yes. Although it's helpful for screening sometimes. That's a joke. I didn't update a number and Corey couldn't reach me. And now I'm fair. It's a fair criticism. Messaging, in this day and age, a lot of people are trying to avoid picking up the phone if they can. So being able to have a message turned on, and you can also hook that up to a bot so that if people reach out, they get a response. And there we are. So let's come back to here. Social proof. So we already talked a little bit about that, reviews. This is something I'd really encourage you to reach out for. This would be super low hanging fruit. Any past people that you've worked with, people in this group, you could write reviews for each other. You do good work. That's, reasonable. Any friends or family who can vouch for you. We just want to make sure that you look like a legitimate quality business that other people have bothered to leave a review for. Again, that's social proof. If other people like you, people think they're going to like you too. And again, knowing your audience, making sure that you're not trying to talk to everyone. It sounds like everyone here is pretty dialed in on that construction progression. And that can be really helpful for knowing what keywords to use and who you want to talk to and the way you want to, the content that will be valuable for them. So a little side note here is, what if you miss their call? And so question for you guys, what do you do if no one answers when you call a business, right? Let's say you're looking for that plumber and the first one doesn't answer. What would be the first thing you would do? Corey?
Well, it would depend on the urgency. I got one of those little plunger bobbers. I know how to use it. But if I did have to call a plumber, I had to call septic tank people last month, and first one didn't answer, so you go to the next one.
Bingo. You go to the next one. Now, what if that call was for a construction progression job that was going to be over the next year? Missing that one call can be pretty costly, right? So one thing I would also recommend would be something called missed call text back. So you probably experienced this by now where you've called a business, they don't answer, but you do get a text. That way you get a lead on, you feel like they're paying attention. You have someone you can at least respond to, and they have your information too. They've established a conversation, even if they're not immediately available. So I'd like, if you guys are up for it, everyone just give a call to this number, and I can read it out loud. It's 503.
Right now?
Yeah. And we'll let it ring a couple times and then we'll hang up. 503-451-6391.
This ain't no Craigslist, is it?
No. All right. And so just a couple of rings and then you can hang up. And that's all. It's a little experiment there. Oh, now the next thing is, what if they decide not right now? Who here has a system in place for following up with prospects or past clients where they're not having to directly send emails as remembered?
Yes, hello, this is Corey.
I knew you were gonna.
Thank you for answering your phone later.
So that was not the direction, Corey, but.
Well, somebody answered. Carry on.
Okay. So we want to be staying top of mind. And there are, again, I recommend actually a CRM. So a system so that as you're getting prospects, past clients, doing jobs, you're adding people to your system and automating that follow-up. So you don't have to remember when to reach out. It's kind of all on autopilot. You can just sit back and wait for the responses when they're ready to say yes, right? If you're asking them and staying top of mind, you're going to be the person they're going to book when it's time for that job. Additionally, staying relevant on social media and planning, creating, and scheduling your content. Now, I did want to show a little bit around this. I have a course I've put together teaching all of these different things. So here's a checklist talking about digital domination. So all of these different aspects of showing up online, optimizing your presence, and kind of getting a little deeper into all of these topics, because I know it's a lot to go over. And I can send all of you guys this checklist, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So if we were to want to talk about your social media presence,
now we are going to talk about setting up and optimizing your socials all across the internet.
so you'll have that training available to you on these different things. So if you guys find that helpful, I'm happy to share it. Now we talked earlier about asking for reviews. I've just recommended following up with your prospects, talking about scheduling things on your social media, and I'd like to show you a tool that can help with all of that. So here is the platform that I've put together specifically for drone pilots and drone businesses to streamline all of these aspects so that you can focus on flying, right? Which is the fun part. So a couple different features are just what I'm going to show you here. So in this all-in-one platform, you can have your social media. So this is what you can attach to your Google My Business, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whole host of different social platforms, and then actually have a content calendar where it gets dispersed out to all of them. So you're not having at the end of each week to be like, oh shoot, I forgot to post something this week. You can actually have a system to create that content, schedule it, and just have it go out regularly. You know, it's more of a numbers game. Oh yeah, Bruce.
I got a text message on my phone from Drone Force.
And that's me. So I missed your call because I'm busy doing this conversation. And now we've established a conversation. So
Practical test.
I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I left you a message.
I'm thank you. And so this is just something really handy. And let's see, we also can add contacts to our list and set up a series of emails that go out to them over time. And it doesn't need to be every day. It's just trying to stay top of mind. So you could add construction manager, you know, you just tag them and they automatically get added to this series of emails. And in this platform, I've already written these emails so that they're, again, kind of plug and play. Additionally, here's an example of a website where we can also be integrating the form so that those contacts get added right to that follow-up system, and add a widget as well. So that, again, we're trying to stand out from the competition by being more accessible. Yeah. And let's see, going to move back here. So that's called the Leverage Launchpad, and that's that all-in-one tool. I'm happy to show you guys how that works if it was something that might be helpful to you. But again, my hope for you today was just to show you these different ideas that maybe you haven't been considering that are pretty easy to implement and get you some bigger results.
Sarah, what type of drone work do you do?
I was primarily doing real estate photography.
Drone, interior, exterior drone, video, everything?
Yeah, primarily outside. I did a little bit of indoor, but mostly outside, exterior.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And that was your niche previous to that. You were a realtor.
Right. Yes. So I did have a lot of contacts already, and there was construction progression in there as well, because I worked with new construction realtors. Any questions about anything we just talked about?
So just to clarify, you have this for drone businesses, right? Do you have something for photography businesses?
The same
Or can it be
principles.
kind of used?
Yeah, the same principles would apply, and any of the communications can be customized so that it's, yeah, targeted to your audience and your customers. Yes. And this isn't a pitch. I just wanted to show you what's out there so that you can you know, see how you can tailor it and make your life easier. And again, just give some ideas about creating systems in your business, or, you know, updates and options like the missed call text back that can really differentiate you.
Now, can I use that with my business number, which is Google Voice?
Yes. What, and I'll talk to you about that. We can get that figured out for you.
Okay.
All right. Anything else I can help with today? I'm happy to be a resource while I'm here.
Come on, Dash. Don't be shy. He's our Aussie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
else?
I've got no questions at the moment. Everything's pretty straightforward.
All right. Well, I
Bruce.
challenge you. Let's leave you with the challenge then. Oh, Bruce, yes.
I have a question. What tool or software do you use for your website?
I use this platform.
What is the name of it?
It's called Go High Level.
Go High Level.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I've created it, customized it for drone pilots on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been reviewing some YouTube videos on it. It's over my head.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while to figure this out. Anyone else?
Everything's over your head, Corey.
Shut up.
Sarah, I've been on your Facebook for a long time now, so I've known you for a while. But so with the services that you do offer, I understand this is not a pitch, but how can we get some more information on things that you do offer?
We could just set up a call.
Okay.
Mhm. So I probably have your email then, huh? Mark, you do look.
Most likely.
Or I
Let's see.
can-
I don't know.
Well, can you put it in the chat for everybody? Your correct phone number.
My email. Oh, okay.
I'll put my number. Yeah.
And
But I had to port my phone number over yesterday from Washington to here. I was stuck in the middle for 24 hours. I couldn't call or do anything. It was fun. Tim, you got something?
Yeah. What software are you using to go ahead and stitch your photos and stuff together there and put in something coherent? It's trying to find some decent software. And guys, I just picked up a 360. It just showed up yesterday, that RS 1 inch. So I'm trying to figure out how to use that. I just getting back from construction site right now.
Well, that's fun. I use Lightroom, and I like actually a simple software called Animoto for videos.
Thanks.
Mhm.
now, are you using any of the AI software?
I haven't delved into that yet. No. Have you?
That's what Mark does. Well, he farms his stuff out to Vietnam or China or wherever.
Mhm.
Mark who? Not this guy.
Hey Tim, the best thing to do would be learn the Insta360 software that comes with your phone. So if you've got the Android version, download it from the Play Store or grab the Apple Store version. Learn that. That's probably going to be the best and easiest way to get into the 360 stuff. And then from there, you can move on and use something like Affinity or Photoshop and edit your photos from there on.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
Ben Clearmont's a good one for 360 YouTube, and also the 360 Guru.
All right. Do you guys have any jobs coming up this week?
Well, I got a call from Bark, which is Angie's List, and from a realtor in I think they're in Colorado. There's a local property here. It's a swim school, and she wants pictures of it, and it's in controlled airspace by the military.
Oh.
So we have to submit at least 3 days in advance through Drone Zone, and then Drone Zone sends it to the military, and then the military sends it back with their stipulations. So once you get it back, there's an attachment from the military, and then you have to notify them 3 days before you want to do the mission, and then you have to notify them 30 minutes before you take off, and then you have to notify them when you land, and there can also be other stipulations in there. I've had it in the past where I put in a day, and they changed the day to a week later. It's like, what the hell good is that doing me? So you got to be careful. It can be done, but it can be a pain in the neck. So she wasn't sure when she wanted to do it. I had to look up the weather, and of course it's supposed to be rainy and cloudy. So I gave her a tentative schedule for Thursday. So I just submitted it before the Zoom here, and I put in for Thursday and Friday. I put in my notes that it was only going to be a one-time flight, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but I put in 2 days because of depending on the weather. And I used to be air traffic controller in the Navy 30 years ago for a minute, so I do have that rapport with the Navy guys over at the operations center. So that is a leg up on some people. So
Yeah,
that's that.
That'll be fun. Sounds like some major hoops to jump through. Fun to see how that turns out. All right.
I just got a call the other day about a billboard company that does some inspections for them. So I just this is the first time I've been working with them for over a year, or I signed up with them for over a year, and this is the first time they have called. So I'll take that opportunity to see what it comes out to be.
Yeah, really
It's
interesting.
just quick still images of 2 billboards off the highway. So
when you say you signed up with them, what does that mean?
it's basically they're just looking for pilots around the country.
Oh,
So basically it's just a network group that they're looking for.
gotcha.
And I actually, trying to get I'll get everybody's information from here, so that way, I could pass it along to them as well. So everybody has that opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty straightforward job. Not
Yeah.
military zones.
No. One other quick question. This Zoom that we're doing today, normally Rich will post for some people that may not be on today. Is that an opportunity? Because there's a lot of notes that I didn't take for us to go back over.
Yep, I'm recording. I'm happy to share that.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, I should probably wrap up since my dog is going nuts. But yeah, if I would leave you with one thing, I would challenge you to get 3 reviews by the end of the weekend.
Okay, Gary, Bruce, and Mark. There it is on my screen right there. Send it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start getting some social proof and make you look.
It's funny you mentioned that, because Mark and I were just talking about that yesterday. About hooking each other up with the reviews and that kind of stuff. And also we had talked about making a some kind of directory for all our members of the Zoom and the Patreon and stuff, so we could have a directory so we know where people are at, and when we pass jobs back and forth that we can't do.
Don't we already have that on the Discord?
I didn't see it. I know there was one where you could put where you're from, but I meant an actual spreadsheet. Yeah, just a spreadsheet or something so we could look it up real quick and see where people are at, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be good. I've tried to kind of compile a bit of a list myself, but it's very incomplete.
I think we could get something together and host it on Discord. That'll probably be the easiest way to share it.
We'll take that for action, Dash. You're pretty tech savvy.
Thanks, Dash, for handling that.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure to meet you all.
Thank you very
Sarah,
much.
thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Sarah.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
sir. I'll talk to you Monday.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.